I can promise you one thing, you're gonna fail the class if you're cheating.
Yeah. Duly noted.
I'm gonna get a couple more signatures here, then I'll record them.
Marsha, when you get settled, can I get you to sign in?
Yep.
Go ahead and have a seat.
This is the seat that's in the way of everybody.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't give us more room on this side than the other side.
Yeah,
Set this up.
yeah, it is kind of off balance.
Hey, all right.
Okay. This is from,
This is the sign-in sheet.
oh, this, oh, you figured out when I was appointed?
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
think
I'll be
so.
back.
I've got a file with all sorts of things in it for every member now. Voting records, so
Oh, I bet you had a time trying to get your
Background checks.
notes down.
I know it was not easy. Some of it,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
These.
yeah. That's from the December and the October meetings. We all got really busy and didn't get that done. So, thank you very much.
The last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been dealing with like.
I appreciate it. Get Travis to sign in.
There's a lot of ice out there, Mom.
Travis gave me bad news. I don't know hear it. He's saying that they're calling for another snowstorm, the 19th.
It's not going on.
So I hope they're wrong, because obviously they don't know, because they were calling for it this weekend.
No,
No, I'm not.
our daughter is getting married the 21st in Pennsylvania, so we are traveling on the 19th. We have to get there. We can't have a snowstorm, so I'm just saying, you know, to the powers that be.
You might want to leave a couple days early.
No, we're gonna have 60-degree weather. That's all I got to say about it.
Well, I hope you do.
I just basically need to start it, right? Nothing fancy.
I just want to get it over with.
Yeah,
Just
move
get
on
the-
to spring.
Yeah. It's winter.
Hey,
welcome.
Kelly, I'm Lucy. It's so nice
Oh,
to
you
meet you.
made it? Yeah. I didn't know if I was gonna make it, I made it.
I'm not wishing my life away. I
I'm
just want
dedicated.
spring to be here.
I'm just,
No,
Now, without surgery, they were able to maneuver.
and I don't want it to
things
go
and
like
it's gonna be okay.
70 and then back.
But you know, when your
to
kids
snow.
in-
No.
Just let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have 10 of them.
But we live in the Ohio
Yeah,
Valley,
so
so
this
this
is
is
number
never
9.
knows.
He's like
Yeah.
tall.
It always
Number 5 is 6'5".
Goes up and
I have a
down.
6'4", so that's the weirdest thing when you're like, get a hug, you're like at a sternum.
When I was in school, we always had a
I
nice
could
stroke
put more
around
to
the
this
section.
section.
If I ever remembers that.
Yeah.
But it's like we always,
Around the boys section.
around the boys section all the time, the girls just had their sectional, so I think that's probably in like another 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
These instructions.
Hey, sounds about right.
Sometime in March, when I was in school, it was like there was boys in high school around boys sectional time.
Get to it. See if there's anything else.
The thing about them in March is that they're quick, you know, because we have the fluctuating temperature. So it doesn't stay around long, like in January where we were frozen in for a month.
True, we hope anyway.
I'm not having any.
Getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just get rid of it. And the mud.
Lots of mud.
Having technical difficulty about starting on time, getting the recording fired up here, so bear with us for just a moment, if you would, please.
Can we call Bill?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Where's Emily?
It is Salem 47167.
Okay. All lowercase?
Yeah, well, no, Salem, capital S. Capital S only. He's here now.
You can start it.
They tell me we're live, so here we go. We wanted to thank you all for coming tonight. Appreciate it. It's always good to have public input, and glad to see all the board members here, the planning commission members here tonight. And if we would, we're going to stand and do the pledge. Todd's going to lead us in the pledge. And I'm going to throw our newest board member, commission member, in the fire. She's going to lead us in the pledge. He's going to pray. And I'm the one that's nervous.
You join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the many blessings you've bestowed upon us. Dear Lord, watch over us and let us show wisdom and understanding and patience as we go about this meeting. Bless those who serve us. In his precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, we're going to do an official introduction of the newest Planning Commission BZA member, Kelly Williams. And I think she's going to say, yeah, go ahead.
I'm Kelly Williams. I am a lifelong resident of Washington County. I reside in the Rosebud area, so the west part of the county. I am personally the 5th generation to grow up on our family farm, and my kids are the 6th. I'm sorry. I have 15 years of experience in education, semi-retired from that. I dabble a little bit in real estate and design currently. And I am just happy to be here and contribute and get involved a little bit more in our community. So thank you.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, next we have the review and approval and signing of the Planning Commission meeting minutes of January 6, 2026. Everybody should have a copy. Is that correct? Everybody should have a copy. Hopefully you've had a chance to review those.
And if you don't, it's in your packet.
Motion to approve the minutes of the January 6th meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, Todd makes a motion, Andrew seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And then we're going to take just a moment, if you don't mind, Kevin, to get it passed around and signed.
Okay, we will do that. And the reason for this is if sometimes we get out of here without signing them, and we're gonna take just a moment to be sure that everything,
I'll pass it down this way first.
Lisa gets all the signatures
Right,
reviewed.
as you want here.
In the meantime, I will sing a serenade you all, and love us for having a good evening.
Thank you very much. I got that done before we got started today.
Okay.
So we're ready to go on to this one.
Okay. Got it. All right, that's been brought back. The next item on the agenda is to collect the missing signatures on approved minutes, meeting minutes, and that's already been taken care of. So we'll move on. Review and discussion of draft policies on maintaining order at plan commission meetings. Okay, Lisa, turn this over to you.
Thank you. Well, it's important to have good order at a meeting. It makes it go more smoothly. It's efficient, more efficient with time. If we have good, professional, respectful discussions. And I happened to be looking at the commissioner's website and saw that they have a policy on conduct of meetings for their speakers. So I looked at that and I thought, well, this looks like a pretty good product. So I talked to Todd and Kevin about this and asked to draft something for us to consider for using here in our meetings. But we expanded it a little bit to cover not only people speaking at meetings with a code of conduct, but also good conduct of plan commission members, contractors that we hire to work on certain projects, and anyone in the public that would make a little comment or something at the end of the meeting. So these draft conduct documents were included in your packets. There's a separate one for people that sign up to speak than there is for the one that covers plan commission members, contractors, and people that have not signed up to speak. So the one that covers the largest group would be plan commission members, non-speakers, and contractors, just a one-page document. And it talks about all plan commission members, whether they're voting members or non-voting members. And I don't know if anyone has had a chance to read this yet or not. If they haven't, maybe we want to take a moment to just quietly read over both documents. Would that be a good thing to do, Kevin?
And I think we need to all figure out, know what's expected of us as members. And this does apply to the BZA as well, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
I mean, I can read it if you want me to, or you can read it.
Okay, well, I'll take a gander at it. Okay, so I'll read the one-page one that's a conduct policy for non-speakers. And it says it applies to plan commission members, BZA members, contractors, and members of the public who have not signed up to speak at the meeting. Meetings of the Washington County Plan Commission and the BZA are held in public for the purpose of conducting business of the Plan Commission and the BZA. The Indiana Open Door Law, Indiana Code 5-14-1.5, allows the public to observe public meetings, including those of the Plan Commission and the BZA. A governing body has discretion whether to allow public comment and may set reasonable rules that govern the conduct of a meeting. per Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3.3. The following rules govern the Plan Commission meetings to ensure decorum and order. All Plan Commission members, whether voting members or non-voting members, all BZA board members, contractors in attendance who have been hired by the Plan Commission or the commissioners, and all members of the public in attendance who have not signed up to deliver a public speech or make a statement at the public meeting shall express their opinion or concerns about matters over which the Plan Commission or BZA have authority or responsibility in a concise and respectful manner. Plan Commission members, BZA members, contractors, and members of the public in attendance are hereinafter collectively referred to as non-speaker attendees. Non-speaker attendees shall not attack any individual, shall not be political or election-based, and comments shall not be in regards to personnel matters or any other matter discussed in an executive meeting. If a non-speaker attendee disrupts a meeting, his or her statement exceeds a reasonable amount of time, or if the statement is personally directed, abusive, obscene, discourteous, or irrelevant, the presiding officer shall take reasonable steps to maintain order in a meeting, including interrupting, warning, and terminating the non-speaker attendee's comment opportunity. Once the presiding officer has issued 3 warnings to a non-speaker attendee during a meeting, he or she may direct the non-speaker attendee to leave the meeting. If the non-speaker attendee refuses to leave as directed by the presiding officer, the presiding officer may direct a law enforcement officer to remove the non-speaker attendee from the meeting for a violation of this policy. Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3.3E3. Nothing in Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3.3, conduct of meetings of certain entities, may be construed to prohibit a law enforcement officer from immediately removing a non-speaker attendee from a meeting if removal of the non-speaker attendee is necessary to maintain order or ensure the safety of another person, the non-speaker attendee commits a criminal offense, or the non-speaker attendee violates the rules or policies governing the conduct of the meeting as adopted by the governing body. That's Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3.3G. So that's the first one, just one page that discusses conduct that's expected for non-speakers. That would be Plan Commission members, BZA members, contractors, and members of the public who have not signed up to speak. Then I'll move to the 2-page form, which pertains to conduct policy for people that have signed up to speak. Meetings of the Washington County Plan Commission and the BZA are held in public for the purpose of conducting the Plan Commission's and BZA's business. The Indiana Open Door Law, Indiana Code 5-14-1.5, allows the public to observe public meetings, including those of the Plan Commission and BZA. While there is no specific statutory authority that guarantees the right to speak at these public meetings, a governing body has discretion whether to allow public comment and may set reasonable rules that govern the conduct of a meeting. The Washington County Plan Commission and BZA do allow public comments during its meetings as it values the importance of public comment. The following rules govern the Plan Commission and BZA meetings to ensure decorum and order. Members of the public who wish to speak at a Plan Commission meeting or BZA must sign up to do so at the Building Commissioner's office at 601 Anson Street, Salem, Indiana, 47167, no later than 24 hours prior to the meeting. The office hours of the Building Commissioner's office are from Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Public comments shall be limited to 3 minutes for each speaker, and each speaker is limited to speak once per subject matter. The speaker must provide their name and address. The public comments portion of the meeting is limited to 30 minutes. Public speakers must be residents of Washington County or owners of real estate in Washington County. Public comments are allowed so that residents of Washington County and those who own real estate in Washington County can express their opinion or concerns about matters over which the Plan Commission and BZA have authority or responsibility. Public comments are to be statements from the public and directed to the Plan Commission or BZA. This is not a time for questions and answers or discussion with the Plan Commission or BZA. Public comments shall not attack any individual, shall not be political or election-based, and shall not be in regards to personnel matters or any other matter discussed in an executive meeting. If the public speaker disrupts a meeting, the speaker's statement exceeds the allowable time, or if the statement is personally directed, abusive, obscene, discourteous, or irrelevant, the presiding officer shall take reasonable steps to maintain order in a meeting, including interrupting, warning, and terminating the speaker's public comment opportunity. Once the presiding officer has issued 3 warnings to the speaker during the meeting, he or she may direct the speaker to leave the meeting. If the speaker refuses to leave as directed by the presiding officer may direct a law enforcement officer to remove the speaker from the meeting for a violation of this policy. Nothing in Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-3.3, conduct of meetings of certain entities, may be construed to prohibit a law enforcement officer from immediately removing an attendee from a meeting if removal of the attendee is necessary to maintain order or ensure the safety of another person, the attendee commits a criminal offense, or the attendee violates the rules or policies governing the conduct of the meeting as adopted by the governing body. And there's a form that's attached to this second page. The instructions are to complete and return the form to Travis Elliott, Washington County Building Commissioner. His email address is in this form. A person can mail the form as well to the building commissioner at the address where the office is located. It has to be received 24 hours prior to the meeting, and a separate package has to be prepared by an appellee or his or her designated spokesperson who's appealing a zoning requirement. And the form has at the top, I agree to follow the Washington County Plan Commission /BZA conduct policy and relevant Indiana code. The information that's required for the form is the speaker name, the complete address, the phone number, the email address, the date of the meeting the speaker plans to attend and speak, the public comment topic or agenda item, the signature of the speaker, and the date.
Right. Any questions or comments?
I actually have a lot of questions and comments about this. The first thing that strikes me about it is it seems to be in harmony with HB 1333, which you all may know was a state level initiative passed the House after 3 readings in an attempt to hijack and divert our rights as a citizen of a county to determine what is appropriate for our counties. So where we on the Plan Commission have had the task of creating solar ordinances and other things that would be in harmony with the lifestyle objectives and visions of our county, HB 1333 would scrap our ability end around us and literally leave all of those decisions up to the state level. So when I see harmonizing language like this, I see we're putting conditions on the free speech. We're putting limitations of time. I wasn't a fan of this when the commissioners did it last year. You might remember the public outcry from the comprehensive plan that happened last year, and hundreds of citizens showed up to protest. And then the result of that later was that the free speech, First Amendment rights connected to government bodies, hereby citizens, was limited. And so now you need to have a 24-hour notice. They're trying to do this here at the Plan Commission as well. I completely object 100% to everything in here because it's a limitation on the free speech. For those of you that believe that we live in a democracy, Rhonda knows how I feel about that word, this completely stifles your free speech. And I think it's just a chilling thing to put forward.
The House bill that you mentioned, we'll address it in about, before we leave this building.
Yes, I'm so glad to
About
hear
3 minutes, okay, because
All
that
right.
has changed a bunch.
it has. Yes.
Okay, so let's don't, the
Right.
original intent, it didn't come out of committee. The original intent did not come out of committee because I talked to the office. Okay, so anyway, but we will get to that.
We'll put a pin.
As far as stifling things.
Yes.
Just trying to stifle, no one here wants to stifle, in Kevin's opinion, no one here wants to stifle opinion. But I think we need to do it reverently, be cognizant of those around them. And I feel like it's really sad that we've come to a point in this country that we have to have some of this stuff to do what we do, to do what we need to do. Okay? Now, I'm not gonna point fingers at anybody. I'm not here to do that. But I know, so.
Historically, I have been the one that has gone over time, called people out, asked if they're allowed to lie from the podium. And I have been told, by the way, and I can share this publicly, April Geltmaker has gotten back in touch with me about the question that I had for her, which is, are public officials allowed to lie to us? And that was something that was very alarming to me, because I've seen people and called them out on their lies. And I'll be bringing receipts for that. But April did tell me that although public officials are expected to speak truthfully, but there is no general criminal law in Indiana that makes it automatically illegal for a public official to lie to the public in every circumstance. So whether a lie is unlawful depends on context, intent, and consequences. So I have replied to April and asked her, under what circumstances is lying prohibited? Under what context and circumstances would it be unlawful? And what consequences could follow? Can you point me to a statute that supports your conclusion?
All right, this was brought about. We are discussing this policy here tonight.
Well, we're talking about speech in government meetings, and I see that we have a non-speaker policy for those who are here on the Plan Commission, and we have a separate policy for members of the public. And I would like to see freer speech in this country and less restricted speech.
And I have a question related to this. So, the one that's specifically for people who have signed up to speak, this is for just like a regular Plan Commission meeting and not for a public hearing. Is that correct? Or does this apply to both?
Well, it could apply to a public hearing too. That's held during a Plan Commission meeting.
Okay, because I know in the past, it's just been somebody can show up here and sign a paper that they want to speak at a public meeting or at a public hearing, excuse me,
Yes.
versus them sending in this document. So I think it would be maybe good to add something about this as including a public meeting and a public hearing if we're going to do that, because past practice has been that.
Okay.
I personally don't like to limit public comment just because that's what we're here to serve the public, so.
You mean to limit?
To limit their time,
3
yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Comments? Other comments?
I was just gonna say, it would be unfair though, if we had 50 people show up and everybody wanted to speak an hour, we're not gonna have time for that. I mean, it kind of limits people being able to speak. If you put time limits on it, then you get time to do everything. I mean, us as attorneys, when we go to the court, we're not allowed to speak forever in a day. We have time limits. They're like, look, get to your point, get us the message so we can move on here. So just my 2 cents.
It didn't look to me like the Indiana Code had a time limit on it. Everything was reasonableness. So if we had 50 people that wanted to speak in a 2-hour meeting, we might say that, hey, due to reasonableness, we need to limit you to 3 minutes each. But if 3 people are here, well, then if they go 10 minutes, what's the problem?
Because a lot of times people aren't able to understand that during the time. If there are 49 people showed up, do we make that the cutoff? Or 50 people, show up? How do you make those decisions? And when something, I'm not saying that this is specifically right. I think there needs to be some sort of rule and order to things. And I know even in these meetings right here, there are times that as a non-speaker, I have wanted to say things, but because other people are bringing up things that aren't relevant or aren't willing to give time to other people, that eventually I'm just like, let's get out of here. Let's close this meeting, because it's obvious that not everybody is going to get to share what they think or how they feel about it. So in some ways, I'm very in favor of something like this, because I don't think that we're able to have the kind of meetings that we should be able to have.
If we got 49 members of the public to show up at this, I think we should throw out a huge
I don't want to talk
celebration.
about that. I'm just
That's not the
saying,
point.
that was using that as an example. And if people wanted to come forward and speak, of course, we want to hear. But we've got a history now of people coming in who want to talk about things that aren't relevant, who want to yell, who want to be negative or derogatory towards other people, and that's just not appropriate. And if people can't understand that that's not appropriate, then that's when we have to put things like this into place. And so that's where we are, in my opinion.
I don't have anything further to say. I'm kind of like you. It's sad that it's had to come to this, but I think when you go back to like Robert's rules of order, there's time limits in those also, and there's rules and decorum of meetings, and I think we're at this point.
Yeah, it is sad that we got to this point where when citizens rise up and they start to take notice of the things that are happening in their county and they want to have a say and they want to push back and call out bad actors, we respond by an attempt to shut them down.
That's not what's happening, Lucy, and to be portrayed that way is unfair.
I'm sure you would limit that speech too.
The thing is that I see, well, can I speak?
Absolutely.
The way that I see it, we're not discouraging people from speaking. This is not discouraging people from speaking. It may be discouraging people from just getting up here and beating their hands on the benches or on the stands or whatever and going after people and all of that. That's what we want to try to get a handle on as far as.
And is that best accomplished by telling people that they have to sign up a minimum of 24 hours in advance and they're limited to 3 minutes? Or is that best accomplished by sharing to people and entreating, hey, we're all a professional organization here. We're going to treat each other with civility and respect. And I respect you so much that I want to listen to you for 4 minutes today.
I think 3 minutes is a good length of time for someone to boil down what's important to them about a specific topic, be concise, get to the point. And I think it's possible to eloquently express your opinion or your stance on a particular topic in 3 minutes. It may take some practice, but I think it's quite possible. And if something is dear to your heart, you will spend that time to rehearse and make your 3-minute speech. If you need to take 3 minutes even, you can get a lot in 3 minutes. You can make it very impactful if you put forth the effort for that topic. That's my opinion.
As a compromise, I'd like to make sure that it's memorialized in here, because I'm going to vote against it, but maybe too many will vote for it, that it'll pass. I think we need to memorialize the concept that has been tried and true in the commissioners meeting, and that is if somebody signs up, that they can nominate somebody else to receive their 3 minutes. You can keep the 30-minute time limit on the whole darn thing, but if somebody wants to give their 3 minutes to somebody else because they feel that they are a better speaker, more concise, and able to get that message delivered quickly, I think we should make sure that that's memorialized.
Everybody's had kind of an opportunity here. I'm not picking on you. Your thoughts, Kelly.
Well, I do agree that we should not stifle free speech. I very much believe in that. I could also argue that having a 3-minute time limit does enable us to hear more voices, and I think that that's important. Having no time limit would limit us to hear potentially only 1 or 2 voices at a meeting. I do think that it's important to, keep that decorum and that professionalism and be able to have, concise arguments, concise comments, things that need to be said. I do think that the 24-hour rule does give everyone the opportunity to really clarify the importance of their comments and what they need to say. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, will of the board, what's the board want to do here? Do we want to do need to make any changes to this? Yes.
So,
Wait just a minute.
I think you need to have a sign-up sheet. I think it's going to be too much for Travis to go ahead and keep track of everybody that's going to plow in and email him and say, look, I want my 3 minutes. Just go ahead and have a sign-up sheet. I would not limit it to 3 minutes because that is too short. I think maybe even go up to 5 minutes at least. Because, the topics that are discussed here have to do with property and wealth and personal wealth. And a lot of times, there's a big wall that you have to get over to verbalize the fear and loathing of what may be appearing to happen in this meeting. And I think the 24-hour thing is uncalled for.
If you want to be on the agenda for like the 3 minutes, the commissioners have where you can email in to get more than 24 hours ahead to be put on the agenda. I can understand, instead of having to go take off work to go physically to Travis's office, then maybe you should be able to email in like they do with the commissioner meeting.
Okay, there's a provision to that in this. Lisa just brought it to my attention. The word can be emailed in. It can be mailed in. Might take a day or
I
two
thought the
longer
mail
to
would
get
have to
here.
be in person, but I didn't get the email.
Or if they want to pick it up at his office or whatever, the provisions are there. We do, we'll make the statement. I've said this a lot. We do what we want, when we want, if we want. Okay, and think about it. If we don't want to do something, we'll find every excuse in the world not to do it. Somebody else for it. So, the provision is here. I'm good with having a sign-up sheet here when they come in personally. If they're going to get rowdy, then I'm not. But I'm not a very confrontational purpose. I'm not a very confrontational person. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. But to make it easier for the public and all, I can live with that. But the board is going to make that all the time. I can cast a vote if it's a tie vote. So you guys can.
Another question
Yes, sir.
out there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Preston.
I'll just say that we as a council, we have a sign-up sheet, and we don't have any time limit, but if they go over, then the president will stop them, But anyway,
I know, I'll point
we give them at least 3 or 4 minutes to just try to get their point across.
I will say one thing. I'm not sure I'm done talking, and I probably shouldn't be doing as much. I kind of like having the sign up the 3 minutes or whatever, because we've got a lot before us here that we need to get through. And if everybody can get up here and they can speak for 20 minutes or whatever, we're not going to get through this stuff. And I know from the personal experience my wife and I had with the commissioners and the solar thing, we had 3 minutes. I signed up for 3, she signed up for 3. When our 3 minutes was up, we went on. I'm not upset about that a bit. I could have been very upset and said and banged the table and said I deserve that right. But I understand there's a lot of business to go on, a lot of things to do. We need to take care of. We need to be prudent about what we say and what we do. And it can get very emotional. So that's kind of how I stand on that. So if the board wants to, do we need to make some changes to this before you vote on it, or make a motion? Someone makes a motion to accept it the way it is, or some changes, or make a motion pending the changes are made, we can move on.
Why don't you go around the table and even ask our non-voting members if they have any suggestion or edits?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Travis has had a chance to speak.
Do you have any questions, Travis?
Not really. I was just thinking about the time limit is probably best, the 3 or 5 minutes. And I remember some other meetings that we had, there were people that didn't get a chance to speak, but we are having another meeting the following month. If they didn't get a chance to speak, give them their 3 minutes again, or even if it's the same person, the next meeting. so everybody gets heard. But I know we've got these time limits that we need to move on with things, so something else to think about. But I think the time limits, everybody needs to be heard, but I think that, you're gonna have some time limits.
If I do my job right, everything will work right, right?
That's right, Kevin.
Oh, my goodness. All right, anybody else?
You want to just give each person a chance to.
I still stand by no time limit, and I think we should just have a sign-up sheet instead of making more work on them out at the building department. Just my opinion.
If you have a sign-up sheet, would it be just prior to the start of the meeting, or how would that?
Just how we always, that's how it's.
Well, it would have to be done before the agenda's printed.
Is that the way it's done at the commissioners' meetings?
Well, no, at the
So-
council meetings, we just have a sign-up sheet, and you sign up if you want to speak. and-
You mean when they walk in the building,
Yeah, when they walk in, and then
but the commissioners handle it
we go
different?
from there. I don't think we've had any issues.
And it's the way it's been done before. It's unusual that we don't have a sign-up sheet for the zoning board.
Okay, we're getting opinions. Marcia, again.
Nothing more.
Okay. Lori,
No,
Todd?
I have nothing further.
Well, if it'll make everybody happy, just make it 5 minutes and hope to goodness you don't get 30 people show up so we can go ahead and conduct business.
I guess, oh, all right.
But I just want to remind everyone that, this is the difference between having some order versus chaos. And we've had plenty of chaos.
All right.
I'm okay with
You're okay with
the time
that?
limit.
You're okay with
I would love to have Marcia and Lisa weigh in on this, because I've got the Indiana Code 514, 1.5, 3.3 E3. And when I'm reading this section, it seems to apply to just members of the public. Whereas this document, we're calling out non-speaker attendees, and these non-speaker attendees are all of us up here. And so that would almost seem to be very counterintuitive, that the language in the Indiana Code seems to all be directed at members of the public who are attending, but now we're putting restrictions on the members of the Plan Commission. And we should be the ones who are most able to speak freely. We're standing up here in representation of the public. And this would seem to be, I don't know, have I got the 3-minute timer out on me yet? Because I'm a non-speaker attendee.
Yeah, we're working on it.
It doesn't have a time limit on the non-speakers, does it?
No, on the one-page one that deals with non-speakers, it's mainly just
It does say,
non-disruptive, and if they exceed a reasonable amount of time.
what's reasonable?
Well, I think most everybody in here knows what's reasonable and what's unreasonable.
I am very unreasonable when it comes to my rates.
Well, that's why we have our president here. the
I know, you can tell me to
presiding
shut up, Kevin, it's okay, I'll
officer,
shut
To
up.
weigh in
I'll
if
shut
it
up.
does become out of order.
I think this should be up to the discretion of the chairman, the president,
Yes,
as far as board members. I mean, that goes without saying. He's going to know real quick if somebody's blabbering on too long.
I want this to be a filibuster that federal government uses up there, where somebody gets up there and carries on for 20 hours or whatever. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Okay, and I've struggled with this the last few days about doing all of this, and I feel like we need to do something, and I think non-speakers could be people in the audience as well that create a lot of commotion to where this, to me, that this board cannot do what we're supposed to do.
Do we not have a label for the public? As we're calling them members of the public, and then we're calling non-speaker attendees, those of us that are up here, the contractors, et cetera. So I was just pointing that out, that for sake of clarity, it's probably a good idea for us to make sure that it harmonizes with the Indiana code, because otherwise we'll have people like me that will take more than 3 minutes ad infinitum.
Thank you for admitting that. Appreciate that.
Oh, I do. I know. I'm a sore spot. It's
And
okay.
I'm gonna have to,
I know. Put me down. It's all right.
I don't want to put anybody down, but, we just need to be cognizant of everybody else that's in here, not just you, Lucy.
No, it's all
Not
right.
just you, Rhonda, but, all of us, everybody's got, okay. So what do we want to do? What do you want to do? I'm hearing a couple different things here about not having time limits. I'm hearing conversations about, having a sign-up sheet here. I think that having it to where a sign-up sheet here, and they have the option, they can go to Travis's if they're there, and if, don't like something that Travis maybe told them, they can sign up while they're there, Johnny on the spot, or what, to speak. So what, you tell me, the board, you tell me, if someone wants to make a motion to do what?
I think for planning purposes, it doesn't hurt to at least give them the opportunity, because there will be people who will understand, like, hey, and I'm going to sign up for this, let Travis know a day ahead or even before then. But then there may be people who don't have a clue and they show up and just want to speak. So if we have both, then we're covering both. But I feel like it's just human nature that you have people that want to dominate whatever situation they're in. I mean, on Tuesday, other than this Tuesday night, the rest of the month, I co-lead a women's group at Northside Christian Church. And we have to do the same thing, because we can't let one person dominate the meeting. Otherwise, nobody will come. Nobody wants to sit and listen to the same person every time through the whole meeting. So it's just something you have to do with people, because we are what we are.
And we do have on the agenda, if you'll notice, board closing comments and comments from the public. We typically, at the end of the meeting, after asking if any other plan commission members have comments, usually the president opens it up to the members of the audience to see if they have anything else to say. So, and that covers the people that haven't signed up to formally make a statement, but to maybe ask a question or express an opinion or something like that. So there are a lot of opportunities to have your voice heard. It just needs to be respectful of others and an appropriate length of time.
And I'll admit, I failed to do that one of my first meetings that I was up here. I forgot. I just zoned out, didn't ask the public for comment. And that's, if I forget to do that, please grab my chain, okay? So we've done all that, had all these comments. You want to accept this and do it? You want to reject it? What do you want to do? I can't make that motion.
Kevin, I'll make a motion to amend the 2-page document for conduct policy for speakers, to strike out 3 and add 5.
For the minutes, right.
5 minutes instead of 3. And then I don't know how to word it on the second page, but having the opportunity to send that information to Travis or sign up at the beginning of the meeting or before the meeting begins, however we want to do that. I do feel like it's a lot to put on Travis, and there's a lot of opportunity for him to miss an email like I do when I have it on the phone, things like that. So then if there was an issue, you're sick, nobody checks your emails, that kind of thing. If that happens, then they have the opportunity to sign up that night so they don't lose their, I don't know the right word, ability or opportunity, whatever that might be.
So we've added a statement that said if circumstances prevent someone from signing up 24 hours prior, they may sign up at the meeting. Something, would that address your concerns?
Yeah, a lot of meetings have just a checkbox. Do you wish to speak, yes or no? In the sign-up sheet, that would take care of its real simple.
What would be the purpose of even having the 24-hour then sign up? If
Wouldn't
you
be.
can do that, there's no purpose in
It wouldn't be.
having both of those.
But out of courtesy, if you have something that you really feel passionate about, which is a lot of times the case here, they need to give Lisa advance notice before the agenda is printed. That way, nobody's blindsided and.
Well, because I think the 24-hour, we could give preference to those people and let them go first. And then these last minute people would be add-ons so that we're not, here till midnight at a meeting,
Or if there's documentation that they want to present, if they could present it to Travis, that could be sent out to us beforehand. So we're not trying to fumble through things while somebody's talking at the same time.
So I've added a sentence that says, if circumstances prevent a person from giving 24 hours notice, they may sign up at the meeting to speak.
But preference will be given to those that sign up 24 hours in advance.
Okay.
Travis had something, please.
I don't want to complicate anything, but kind of going off what Danielle said, if you were able to call ahead of time, in time to get on the agenda, that would be your 5-minute speakers. If you're just coming in for this sign-up sheet right here, it would be your 3-minute speakers. You kind of getting the best of both worlds, but that may complicate it too much.
Could you say that again?
Apparently that was complicated.
Oh, gosh, okay. If it gets on the agenda in time with Lisa, someone calling ahead who, deals with passion of, whatever subject we're talking about, that would be your 5-minute speakers. The 3-minute would be the sign-in sheet right here. They're signing in that night.
Oh, so would that be seen by some as a penalty?
Yeah.
No, I honestly, and
Wouldn't be.
can I speak?
Yes.
If we're going to do something like that to make this more complicated, let's just split the difference. In real estate, I can't stand counters back and forth, and I'd say just hit it halfway. Let's go 4 minutes
For everybody.
for everybody.
It's whatever.
I think we need to keep it simple as we can.
Honestly, to me, if you really have something to say and you can't say it in 4 minutes, after that point, it just becomes noise in my world. So
Okay, so I've added 2 sentences to the 2-page one. After the first sentence, which is, I said, if circumstances prevent a person from giving 24 hours notice, they may sign up at the meeting to speak. Preference shall be given to those who sign up to speak 24 hours in advance. Does that address concerns? Are there any other changes? And we're changing 3 to 4 now, right? 3 minutes, we're changing it to 4. I had somebody say 5, but then it went back to 4. Are we gonna keep it at 4?
You okay with that, Daniel?
I was just throwing it out there.
Okay,
Yes.
I think it's a good compromise.
sure, okay. Any other changes suggested to this 2-page document?
Who or how do we verify they're residents of Washington County or owners of real estate in Washington County?
Well, we can go to the GIS system and pull up their property assessment card and see where the taxes get mailed to. That's one thing, see if it's the same as the address.
If they sign up at the meeting, are we going to need to do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Time to do that.
No, but it's a small enough community where most everybody knows everybody else, so.
Well, they're going to be allowed to put their address on there, assuming they don't lie.
Yeah.
About their address.
Yeah. Or use somebody else's. Yeah.
We're about done with this.
Well, it's important.
I know it is.
Okay. Do you want to offer a motion for this one and then move on to this next one? Or you want to hit this one too and do one motion for both of them with the changes?
We're going to do individual.
Okay.
Okay, need a motion,
You need to vote on my amendment.
a vote, thank you.
Yeah.
Parliamentarian.
That's right.
Need a vote on Danielle's amendment, which is,
Well, I accepted the change for the 5 minutes to 4 minutes, and then the word verbiage at the end about signing up 24 hours in advance with Travis, or signing up at the meeting with preference being given to those who signed up in advance.
Good.
Is that adequate for the motion?
for me.
Okay. You don't have a second.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Marcia seconds it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We need a show of hands too.
Oh, you need
Oh.
to hands too. Show of hands,
Okay. And
Say
then
aye.
ask if anybody's opposed.
opposed? Yeah, I know.
Opposed? Nay.
Okay.
Okay, let me write this down. And that's the 2 page. So it was Danielle's motion, and who seconded it, please?
Marcia.
Thank you, Marcia. Okay.
All right, one page document.
No, you just accepted my amendment.
Oh,
You didn't accept the document as amended. Sorry, Kevin.
that's all right. I told you it wouldn't put me in the line. Okay, so we need a motion now to accept for this document as amended.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
You said
This is to accept the policy for speakers. Yes, this is the 2-page
the
document.
two-page document.
We're gonna go to the 1-page document next.
Oh, okay. And Kevin has made a motion to approve it. No, I mean
I'll
Todd.
make a motion.
And then.
Yeah, y'all
Kelly
switched.
seconds.
Kelly.
And Kelly seconded.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Signify by raising your hand.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Thank you. Somebody points. Okay. All right. Motion carried.
Okay, so this policy is in effect. So,
With those changes.
yes, with those changes. And then we're required to post it, so, at the meeting, so people know, and they can read this. And what I'll make a practice of is when I put the agendas up on the bulletin boards, I usually put 2 agendas up in case somebody wants to take one down, and they're posted at this bulletin board here, and the one in the basement by the surveyor's office. I'll attach a copy of the conduct policy to it as well. And that should be sufficient notice.
You should just put it online.
It
Well,
will
we can
be.
do that.
It will
We can
be.
do that, but then every meeting will have it available too. Okay, so you want to move to this one?
Yep.
Okay.
Good now. Not that I'm trying to rush.
We're on the 1-pager now?
Huh?
I would make,
One page.
I would like to make a motion that we harmonize the language to reflect and be in harmony with the existing Indiana State Code. Just for clarity, because otherwise you will get people like me that are going to argue down one way and the other, and it'll be miserable.
You got anything you want to say about this while they're harmonizing?
Yeah, I guess I would like to know what needs amended to harmonize.
If you go back to Indiana Code 5-14-1-5-3.3, I think it is, the one that's cited here. I guess I could have looked over here. What you'll discover is that in the Indiana Code, there is no class of person as non-speaker attendees. It all speaks about members of the public. And so if we start having non-speaker attendees be one class of people, members of the public is another, giving this label to it that does not currently exist in the Indiana Code, I think is a recipe for confusion. And so if we're going to create these laws, we ought to not create something that, that's not in harmony with the existing code.
So what's your recommendation for harmonizing? What should?
Well, we should probably table this for right now, because it's going to take more than just, I mean, the law actually needs to be read, needs to be analyzed and compared and contrasted with the document that we have here.
How about we just strike non-speaker?
And we can also, I mean, in the first paragraph, we could just keep the first sentence and strike the discussion about the open door law. And then we could just move on then to the following rules govern the plan commission meetings to ensure decorum and order. And we could, let's see, anything else we struck there? I think that first bulleted item is probably good. The second one's probably good. The third one, I think, works.
So are you referring to the third bullet point as non-speaker attendees shall not attack any individual? I mean, I would be fine with something that said no person shall attack any individual. I mean, because we should be doing that anyway.
Well, what this is meant to cover is BZA members, plan commission members, contractors, and members of the public in attendance that haven't signed up to speak. So it's, rather than repeat that long phrase of categories of individuals, I chose to call them non-speaker attendees. Now we could say, I can think of all sorts of crazy things we could say.
You could say attendees other than speakers.
This should apply to everyone.
I agree.
That's what I want it to do.
I agree.
I want to be fair.
Well, can it simply just be attendees? Can it simply just be attendees?
Yes, that sounds good. Just attendees.
This is.
Strike
Yeah,
non-speaker.
it works. Exactly. I just don't want people to be confused.
I think I came through, but I had to Google it. So no, has it been?
There's 2.1, there's 3, but there is no.
Any more comments? I'll go around the room again. Danielle,
There's
any
3.2,
other
and then it
comments?
goes to 3.5.
Lucy? any
No,
more comments
I'm good.
about
I'm
this?
still going to vote against it, but I appreciate the compromises.
Now this one it does say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under just a,
Yeah, this
I
one-
like leaving it at
They may
attendees.
not be updated.
Yeah. Funny.
Oh,
I'm good.
okay, Hillary,
I'm sorry,
that's okay. We start for.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
We were discussing that
something that we were reading, so-
IN.gov doesn't have this section of the
Yeah.
code on it.
Okay. Just using attendees.
Yes,
Here.
yes, I agree.
Is that it in a
Yes.
nutshell? attendees?
So we've just replaced non-speakers with attendees throughout this one-page document.
Well, in the definitions of section 3.3, it says attendee means a member of the public who is physically present at a meeting of a governing body. So we are not attendees.
Okay, well, we definitely want to include the plan commission, so let's just think of another word. Instead of attendees, persons,
Attendees and
I don't know.
I don't know, does this have, so does this mean that anytime we decide a policy needs to be adopted, authorized, directed, whatever, that it has to conform to an Indiana code?
No. What this is designed to do is keep order in the meetings by people just being respectful in their communications.
Yes.
Whoever is in this room, and there's a different set of rules that apply to people that have signed up to speak. It's just a little bit different, but this is everybody in this room that's not signed up to speak needs to be respectful in a nutshell. So,
I know.
so we need to include attendees, we're saying does not include us. And we need to have language that does include everyone in the room. Is that?
Why does Indiana code have to even be referenced?
It just gives us permission to set forth these rules. Like in this sentence right here, it's telling you that this code allows us. says this, says that we can implement these rules.
Okay, so Lori.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I just think somehow, I mean, I haven't had time to read through the whole Indiana code on this. But I agree that it just needs to apply to everybody that is here at the meeting, whether they're speaking or not.
So here's a good way we can do that. Instead of saying non-speaker attendees, we just say those in attendance shall not attack any individual, blah, blah, blah. If anyone in attendance disrupts a meeting, just change your word.
Yeah, good.
Change your phrase.
Good.
That sounds good to me.
Same. Yep.
Marshall?
Yeah, I mean, like Lucy said, we should all be behaving according to these standards, no matter who we are. But in a sense, we should be held to a little bit higher standard.
If we all did what was right, we wouldn't need.
Right, wouldn't need
some of
rules.
this stuff. But here we are. And Travis, anything I want to do? Okay. All right. Do we have a motion? Do we need we need a motion.
So move.
To amend,
To accept the amendment.
To amend the language.
But we don't have a motion on the floor to amend it. So
Okay, so
somebody
we
needs
need a
to say
motion
that.
to amend it. Oh, God, keep going on. So fired here.
I'm not that lucky.
Motion to amend.
Motion to amend.
Todd makes a motion to amend the words as we've discussed.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same. Motion carried.
They need a motion.
Two.
They can call for a motion.
Correct. To accept this document as amended. I was
You
listening.
did good.
Danielle's taught me right.
Motion to accept the document as amended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Lori seconds it. All those in favor by saying aye, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried.
But Lucy, you did not oppose the amendments, is that correct?
No, the amendments are fine, but I want the whole document scrapped.
I think we're clear. I just want to confirm that you did not oppose the first part of it.
You are indeed correct. I split my vote that way.
All right.
I'm sure that's highly unusual behavior.
Okay, so now this is in effect too.
This is in effect now, yes. Okay.
No, 45.
All right. The division, the discussion and the redraft amendment of the subdivision control ordinance. You know anything about that?
The change in the word about the deed.
I'm gonna turn this over to, Lisa has the part here that was brought up at the last meeting. I'm gonna turn it over to her and let her read that for us to.
So at the last meeting, Emily, maybe it was one before that, Emily brought up some feedback she'd gotten from a surveyor about the need to have some clarifying language in the subdivision ordinance so that an access way cannot just be an easement or right of way. It's actually fee simple deeded. So we've added that language. So now section under an administrative subdivisions, and I think you all received a 2-page document that had highlighted in green the changes on page 4 and page 7. Not very many. So the first change just changes the wording of under administrative subdivisions on page 4, section 1A, B as in boy, each parcel shall have an access way that is at least 50 feet in width and conveyed via fee simple deed to be deemed a residential building tract. And then in that same section, administrative subdivisions, item C is changed to each parcel shall have a minimum width of 150 feet measured at the front building line. The minimum width of 150 feet may include a 50 feet wide driveway as long as the entire driveway is at least 50 feet in width and conveyed via fee simple deed. And then item D in that section says each parcel shall have a minimum depth of 150 feet, excluding any access driveway. And what that's designed to do, and Emily has suggested that she have some little information sheets or cards in her office to show people what this means. For example, here's a rectangular parcel, 1 acre parcel, and it has a driveway, a longer driveway that extends from that main parcel out to the roadway. And that driveway has to be fee simple deeded access with this property. So the legal description would include this whole thing, and this would not be an easement or right of way. And it cannot be included in the 150 feet, which would go from here back to here. And I know you can't see it from where you're sitting, but I can pass it around if need be.
So the way that Emily has drawn that's really interesting. Would that allow people to have that 50-foot access way and avoid a landlocked parcel? So I'm just going to use myself as an example. I've got a 3 acre parcel that's a nice long rectangle, getting in the front. Are we going to say that we could put a 50-foot access way there, deed it fee simple, and as long as that parcel in the back is a minimum of 150 feet wide, and a minimum of 1 acre, because we changed it from 2 acres to 1 acre, then we could give access to somebody on a residential lot that's behind another, because that's what it looks like.
You can have a long, narrow driveway that's part of the property. That's all that piece of real estate is deeded fee simple. And that can extend along another property, but that driveway has to be at least 50 foot wide. It's not counted when you measure your depth of the lot. So let's say you have a square, 150 feet long, 150 feet deep, and then you extend a driveway off of that all the way out to the road. That driveway length doesn't count in your 150. That 150 is calculated separately by that other part. Now you could have property that fronts a roadway, and the driveway is going to go right directly to the road from that rectangular piece of property. Does that answer your question?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a really hard thing to imagine. Danielle,
I
you got
think
some idea?
the issue is the width versus the length versus width on that one. I think when you said that it wouldn't be included in the 150, you meant the 150
Depth.
Right.
Right.
Not the front.
If you have road frontage and it goes directly from the main parcel, and there's a road that runs along the front of it, then it's right there. The driveway goes right. The driveway is contained entirely in that parcel.
Inside the 150.
Right.
So what if we have somebody that wants to have a long this whole thing started with Lori Gilstrap's story of a long common driveway that people couldn't figure out how to collaborate and keep done, keep maintained. So does this prevent people from having, let's say I've got a 200-foot wide road frontage right now. I think we got 225. Could I take 50 feet off of that, call it a driveway?
Draw what you're talking about.
Because this is
just draw it on the back of the page.
Okay. Let's say I've got 3 acres. I got 225 feet. I'm going to take 50 feet off. I have 10 kids, so this is actually, relevant in my life. So if I've got 225 feet of road frontage, are we saying that we've got to have a minimum of 150 feet of road frontage? Because we didn't want to have, those mailboxes all lined up, trying to keep the country feel. And are we going to allow people to, carve out a driveway to access land that's further in the back? I mean, there's people.
It just can't be a shared driveway, and that each parcel has to have the 150 and 150, the 150 width and the 150 depth. If it's a triangle, but what you can't do is let one driveway serve two parcels. So if you're meaning for this to be a parcel and this to be a parcel,
Right.
If this is a road right out here, is this a road?
It is.
This parcel here could just go directly out to the road.
That makes sense.
This parcel here, that's this sort of like an L shape, if this is deeded, fee simple deeded property
back.
that's part of this, and it only serves this parcel here, that's fine.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you meet the width and depth
I
requirements too.
love that answer. I think that's.
And the 50-foot width for the driveway.
Now, why did we decide on a 50-foot width for the driveway? I mean, that is a lot of driveway.
I don't think that, well, I'm gonna answer that.
I mean, my driveways right now aren't 50 feet.
Well, your driveway's 50 feet, or the amount of ground that you have with the driveways on.
Oh, gosh. I know I've probably got 25 or 30 feet. I'm driving in between over my little culvert there. I mean, what kind of expense does it create for somebody if they've got to have a 50-foot access way?
You don't have to approve it, though. do
It
you?
would alleviate any issues with utilities for one thing, because a lot of times utilities run down an easement back to another property, and that's one of the reasons.
And that language, that 50-foot language has been in there. That's
So that's not new. Do we have
No.
a definition for access way? I mean, I could look it up, although I think I'm out of battery.
Access starts on page 6.
I'm just trying to keep, undue burdens, especially from the people that are trying to move out to the country. They got enough money for 1 or 2 acres. And if they've got a grade and gravel and, they've already got to do under letter G, plot plan prepared by a professional land surveyor.
So let's get back to your one question about what the definition of access.
Yes.
You're asking what's the definition of
What is the definition of
access?
access way?
It's a way to enter upon your property. If you were in an airplane, you'd fly in. If you're in a car or a vehicle, you would drive on the ground surface. So that part of the ground surface that you cross to get to your parcel, back of your parcel would be your access way.
Do we have minimum standards for an access way?
Well, if you look in the subdivision ordinance, 50 feet is the width requirement.
Mhm.
So what's your question?
Well, a lot of us have culverts, and it's pretty expensive, I found, because I wanted to add another access point on the opposite side of my parcel. If we're going to require everybody to have a certain level of access way, for example, I can walk in on an access way. I can drive in on an access way. I can four-wheeler it. I can use a horse. I can use a buggy. Is there some universal standard that we are going to apply so that if somebody coming into the county, they bought an acre or two, and I'm just thinking about all the people that want a homestead, they want a better life for themselves out here with us. And so are we going to force them to create a certain level of completion? I know I'm not using the right words tonight, too much coffee.
I mean, are you talking about culverts and stone and a base? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so are we going to say that an access way has got to be adequate that a utility truck can go on it?
It just references 50
No.
feet.
There are no rules and regulations on access roads on private properties. You can do whatever you want.
That is a very good answer, Todd.
You can,
So we're going to designate 50 feet, and that's your access way, and you're going to figure out how to deal with it yourself.
yeah,
We're not going to put
do
any
whatever you want.
rules.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer.
Whether it's mud, gravel, asphalt, concrete, doesn't matter, because it's on your property.
Well, I have one question about that. That's not saying that you have to improve the entire 50 feet.
No.
You can just gravel the width of what a regular car or truck would. That's not saying that that whole
Right.
thing has to be paved or that whole thing has to be gravelled. It's saying,
Saying that the access, that much property has to be deeded
for an
in
actual
the
access.
event. What you do to it.
And when you, I'm sorry.
No.
Right, I think that was the whole point of the amendment, was that all of this applies to property you own in fee simple through a deed, not any other way.
Yeah, I was just anticipating the problems that we have in other sections of the subdivision where we memorialize, grading issues and things like that. But this is the administrative section, so it's, just for little people with 5 or less, 5 parcels or less.
Well, I guess I look at this, if I'm gonna have access to a place, I need to make that access so that if ambulance, fire, whoever is needed at that particular time, that they can safely get to where they're going. And and there comes some responsibility with that, to do that. Stone or you asphalt it or whatever, So, we need to think about that as well whenever we're doing that. So anything else on that before she moves
We
forward?
do need to change something then on that first page under C. It says the minimum width of 150 feet may include a 50 feet wide driveway. I think that needs to be changed to access way.
Good call,
And
driveway.
then as long as, and I think we need to take out as long as the entire driveway is at least 50 feet wide. That needs to come out.
Access way.
And conveyed via fee simple deed. So it would read now, the minimum width of 150 feet may include a 50 feet wide access way. And it must be conveyed via fee simple deed.
So it's basically road frontage.
Yeah.
Yeah, change it in D also.
Each parcel shall have a minimum depth of 150 feet, excluding any access driveway. That needs to stay the same, I think.
Access
Marcia.
way, yeah.
Because what we don't want to have happen is for someone to include the length of that driveway in their 150-foot depth and have a smaller, inadequate, you can almost have an acre in a driveway that's long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one's okay, that item D is okay.
Any other comments?
Has anybody asked Emily if this is what she was intending,
Yes.
since she's not
I
here
took it
tonight?
down this morning and we talked through this language. We didn't catch C though, that changed to C, so it's good that we're here talking about this.
So this is, any other comments about what's happening here?
Oh, then there's another comment on page 7. So on at the last meeting, there was a request to define who would serve on the planning committee. And after a lengthy discussion, there was concurrence that it would be 3 members, and it would include the surveyor, the building commissioner, and the highway superintendent. And there's reference to chairman and secretary. And Emily and I suggested that they just say the surveyor shall serve as the chairman. That could change. What we were thinking about that was that Emily has 2 staff members in her office. Travis just has 1. I don't know how many are over at the highway superintendent's office.
1.
Okay, so might make sense for Emily to serve in that position and she could coordinate things and.
Yeah.
That was our thought process. And that's it.
All right.
So before we vote on this, I was looking for the actual definition of access way. Because one of the things that Todd had said, which I actually really liked when he said this, is that, this is private land that people own, they can do what they want on it. And of course, you've got fee simple deed, which of course is the highest and best sort of deed that you can have. But are we intending that 50 feet, which is a lot? I mean, I think my car's 9, 10 feet wide. Aren't county roads about 30 feet wide by the time you get the shoulder and everything? So 50 feet as an access way, are we going to restrict their ability to, plant bushes there? Is this going to become dead ground that? It's
your property. You can plant whatever you want on it. Plant a garden alongside it, rose bushes, trees.
Well, if it's our property, should we as a plan commission be telling people 50 feet?
Well, I think it's a safety thing, and if you're just looking for a definition, which is what I thought you were asking
Yeah.
for initially, I mean, this is crude, and I don't like the way it reads, but an access way is the point where the driveway intersects with the public roadway. But it could probably be said more eloquently than that. The words are not coming to me.
It's a long night.
To me, the access, you've got an access easement or whatever, an access from the county road. A lot of them are wider than, like mine's almost 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But that's to view the equipment and stuff that we have, getting in and out. But a lot of them are at least 20 to 30 feet, the access where it leaves the county road. I don't know too many.
So are we going to allow a funnel shape with a smaller driveway? I mean, we're calling this an access way. We did take away the word driveway, which has a different connotation. But we're memorializing into the public record a 50-foot wide, that seems kind of arbitrary to me.
Well, this is not new. This has been in here that we've all.
Oh, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right that it's.
Tell you what, why don't we table this till the next meeting when Emily is here? Because she has very, very good reasons why she wanted 50 feet. She's a surveyor. She deals with it every day. She has seen the horror stories, and there is a reason she picked 50 feet. I don't know all the arguments for it. She does. She deals with it all the time. So I would make a motion to table this. So we don't sit here all night and talk about whether it should be 30 feet.
Lucy seconds it?
I did.
You did?
I like what Todd said.
Okay, I heard you over there.
Yep.
Lucy seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand, right hand. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. I think we ought to stay here about 3 more hours. What do you think?
You're more than welcome to, but I'm going home.
I'm in agreement with you.
I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have to work tonight.
I think at this point, well, everybody is, I guess you could call it homework or whatever. The next meeting I'd like for us to pick up, starting with the solar, unless we have other things that are more pressing, we'll get to this at some point in the meeting.
Hey, Kevin, on the solar, you probably all saw in the email stream that I posted an open source document, and I'll post that for the public as well. I've done a lot of research on what the solar amendments are for various counties, and it's surprising to me. Some have as little as 200 acres, others have literally no restriction. So that'll give us an idea rather than focusing on 2 arbitrary counties. I don't know why we chose those 2. But let's make sure that we have a comprehensive view of what the whole state of Indiana is doing, and that will give us more information.
All right. I know there was some comments brought up about limit of percentage of ag land. I think in your documents here that Lisa handed out, there's a census by county, how much ag land is in Washington County. So I encourage you to look at that. in the next few days, because we will be meeting again in approximately 3 weeks. Since we were off a week for other issues or other things going on. So look at that. Look at your ordinances, whatever. I've got several, not just Miami and not just Fountain or whatever. I've got several other ones here in my folder to look at too, again. So I encourage you to look at those things. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting there.
And I'm going to be sending everyone a copy of Harrison County's solar ordinance. It looks like it's pretty interesting. It looks like it could work for us, but I know we're looking at lots of ordinances, but they're right next door. I would think they think a little bit like we do. They do have more money than we do, but that's because we don't have a boat.
The boat was gonna hold a while, remember?
Yeah. A boat's a hole in the water you throw money into.
But anyway, anybody else here have anything that they need to feel they need to say here before I open it up for the public to?
Yeah,
Oh,
that RV application.
you want to talk about it?
Possible application will be applied for with the state by an individual. He wants to know if he needs anything from this board. So I just want to bring that in front of the board. Does he need anything from this board?
What's he applying for?
Possible RV park, camper, and he'd be going to the state, filling out that, starting the application process, possibly. And does he need anything from this board or
Interesting.
just?
We don't, that's strictly the state oversees that, don't they?
Yes, but
They require septic or some type of
Yes.
septic.
Yeah, it's probably more
Yes.
regulations on that than anything else.
yeah, that'll be a separate issue there. What I'm hearing from him, but since we do have a zoning board,
Do we sign off? on it?
Where? I guess it depends on where is he.
it will be in just a regular,
Is he just trying to
it's
figure
just in
out,
the ag area. It's by our map right now.
is he just trying to figure out if he's gonna have opposition from any of us before he spends a whole bunch of money doing it? Because I don't care.
He's already started it, hasn't he?
Is this someone we have communicated with before in writing?
Yes.
Okay.
So but that's where we are now. He's wanting that information if he needs to have anything here from the board to present to the state. If not, yes or
Do
no.
you have anything for him?
I don't know.
Do we have anything in our regulation or rules that would prohibit?
We were working on that about a year ago and it kind of got snuffed out. I don't think we have anything. He'd probably just do whatever he wants.
I'll just.
The state oversees it anyway.
Wouldn't it though, like if he's putting his building in the wrong spot, or stuff like that? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of details we'd have to know to say for sure not, because, well, like we ran into with those two, not last year, a year before, where their building was too close to the road. Yeah, I mean, it could be things like that, not RV park in general, but there may be details associated with that. But who knows at
What
this
do you mean,
point?
like setbacks, like
Yeah.
confined feeding operations for that?
He would be able to provide that to him.
Right, but he won't know that either until, in other words, I hate to tell him, oh, no, you have free reign, go do whatever you want, when there might end up being some issues. You know what I'm,
Is this
see what I'm
person
saying?
But
has
do
a
we
stop-
have anything on the books? Is that are there any regulations that's gonna come out of this zoning body?
As far as an RV park is
Yes,
concerned. Oh,
Just
okay.
RVing, yes, that's,
Does that fall up under the mobile home parks?
well, but do we
That would
have
be through
any?
the state though, wouldn't it?
Is this the person that we issued the stop work order on?
Yes.
Okay. He has been educated about the building codes and their requirements if it's not an RV park. So he has received a wealth of information in writing from us.
But if he now moves in the direction of RV camper park, does he need anything from this board? That's for his application. That's one of the boxes he'll have to check. If it's no, if it's yes, we need to let him
Probably
know.
not.
I don't remember anything about it.
I don't know how you say it unless you have all the details.
We
And
don't,
we don't have any,
we don't define an RV park, do we?
Not that-
Not that I know of.
That's why I said, does
That's
it fall
reason.
up under any kind of mobile home rules and regulations? But I would think that would be the state, because I know when Alexander's put in that mobile home park, he had to go through a lot through the state.
It will be with the
This is
state.
an
Yeah,
RV
They're just-
and the county, so
This is an RV park.
yeah, why would you still not have to have either septic systems or some kind of clean outs or all of that stuff? That's why I wondered if it would fall up under those state rules. I didn't know.
So this is the route he's going now. He's decided to define what he's doing. Is that what he's doing?
That's what yes. That is an avenue he is possibly pursuing.
And that was suggested to him to investigate that about 2 years ago, right?
Yes, and to go ahead and move forward with this, he just needs an answer from us. If we have anything,
Just wait.
I need to let him know. If we don't, also let him.
Well, if you don't have it, we don't have it.
Here's a section, 410 IAC 6-7.1-33. If the zoning board does have jurisdiction in camper park, you might want to look at them to see what
Was that Indiana code, Max?
stipulations you have. What?
You were so fast. Was that Indiana code?
Yeah, she needs to go.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
So it's not a Washington County thing? But it sounds like to me Washington County doesn't have any.
I would think
Rules
it
that we've
just
set up for
conforms to the state.
It's the Wild West.
So I think our answer is generally speaking, no, but we reserve the right to change our minds.
Well, without all the information, it's hard to say.
Right, because we don't have all the information.
I get that in writing, please. It's like,
Make crib notes on
Like I do my paralegal, she's like, can you draft the email that you want me to send?
right, then we don't have any.
I didn't print off the whole thing, I just did crib notes for me to know where to look.
Interesting.
This is under sanitary engineering. And there's also there in campgrounds.
For the state or for our county?
This looks like it's state level, so it's Rule 410.
So he has to comply with all that.
Yeah, so they've got to go through.
Yeah, but that won't address a lot of things,
Yeah,
like setbacks.
right.
I guess he's wanting to know, it sounds like he's wanting to know if he has any hoops to jump through before he takes it to the state. To me, he needs to take it to the state too, and then,
But that, we've already, he's saying, or the state's saying, they need something from us first. If he doesn't need anything from this board, then they're gonna proceed with the application at a state level. Does he need anything out of this board?
I think did he not? Does he need to, has he come up with a plan that he's presented to you?
No, because if we don't have anything, he wouldn't present a plan to us, he would just be with the state.
But he'd have to present a plan to them.
So
Yeah.
if he presents him with a plan and they look at him and say, you need to be sure that you don't have to have one from.
In other words, it's not like our county prohibits RV parks.
There's been coordination between the building commissioner's office and the state on this issue.
Well, my question is, I was just looking this up. A campground, once it hits 10 sites for 10 or more tents, recreational vehicles, park models, or vacation mobile homes, that's when it becomes affected by this 410-16-19-3-4, it says is the authority. So that seems to be when it's affected, is once it hits 10. So is he doing more than 10? Because the state has pretty good guidelines here.
He will,
Sounds like he,
but he'll do it piecemeal.
Hmm.
All right.
he's calling it an RV park to slide it under the radar because it's not technically an RV park. It's RVs that have been brought in, their wheels removed, just like a mobile home, and he's renting them out for Airbnbs.
Oh, kind of like a tiny home.
Somewhat. But he's calling it an RV park.
That's not an RV park.
Possibly.
We have to call it something, right?
Well, they're not mobile if the wheels are removed.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
RV
the
is
reason he's
defined.
putting an application together, so I'm,
It's a
he may put the
recreational vehicle.
application, or maybe decide not to go this direction, but for RV and campers, for this park, does he need anything from this board?
I don't, I mean, I'm very, very liberal about what I think people should do, but I don't think we should be talking about this at 8:10. I think that's something that we should discuss more, because we don't want to give him false hope and have him say that he relied on us. And you know, I'm about the most liberal person on here, like do what you want to do with your property. But the state has some pretty restrictive guidelines already. If you follow the state guidelines, it might be okay. Like recreational vehicle means a travel trailer, park model, collapsible trailer, truck mounted camper, or motorhome. Doesn't say anything about whether the wheels are still on it.
Right, but just for Washington County, for this zoning board, not that direction, just
So would it be safe to say that we have nothing,
do what?
would it be safe for us to say that we have nothing that would prohibit him from doing?
You know what I would tell him? I don't mean to interrupt you, Kevin, but I would tell him to go look on our county website and look at our laws, and then he can make his own decision. He doesn't need guidance from us if it's already on the county website and the laws are already published. If the law's not published yet, even if we've talked about it, you know, maybe he gets in there in a grandfather clause. But I've already been this route, having a tiny home in my 3 acres. And I know, I can't say anymore, but
That's a different situation.
And then I have one thing. Purdue is having a webinar. It's called Solar on Your Farm, Key Insights Before You Sign. And they're going to talk about what to look for in a solar lease, permitting process, and being part of a co-petition, which I don't know what a co-petition is, so I'm going to watch this. But there is a QR code, a link that you can go to register if anybody's interested.
When is it?
Some flyers. It's March the 6th from noon to 1:30. And I believe if you register and then you can't be there, you'll get a recording link that you can watch at your convenience. That's the way I understand it. So go to the registration and read about it some more. But I'm planning to watch, and I've got flyers here if anybody's interested.
I mentioned earlier about the Senate bill that you had talked about.
yes.
Okay. Can you briefly give us a synopsis in 2 minutes or less?
Somebody better set a timer. All right, let's see if I can do it.
And then I'm going to open it to the public,
All right.
anybody that has any comments after she gets the timers are set.
Tell me when you're ready, Lucy.
All right, I'm going to the stopwatch mode. HB 1333 is what I think is a vital piece of legislation that is designed to take away the individual rights of citizens at the county level who currently have the ability to determine what they want to do through their counties and how to protect their counties, through boards like this. So HB 1333 has been through 3 readings in the House of Representatives at the state level and has passed. It went into the Senate. It's had 1 reading that I know of, it's my understanding. And the only excuse that I've seen for it not passing yet through the Senate is they say they simply don't have enough time. Now, the legislature telling me they don't have enough time just tells me that they're going to make time next time. But to me, this seems to be a corporate, I'm going to say land grab. It seems to be motivated by lobbyists who are frustrated that at the county level, there's been a lot of opposition for data centers, big solar farms, CESs, BESSs. It also limits the ability of people who are outside the county, if they come and support their friends in a different county who are facing this sort of horror, that they would be limited in speaking, which is one of my reasons for the alarm at the beginning of this meeting. So I'm only at 108 right now. So I think that we should really think about our responsibility as planning commission members. We are the stopgap. We're the ones holding back state government, fascist, corporate interest, corporations and governments together is fascism. So we're the ones that are holding back and protecting individual rights at the county level. And I think we need to stand strong against state efforts that would take away our self-determination at the county level and remove those decisions up to the state level. 140.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I did have not a verbal conversation with the author of this first bill, of the bill in the House. And he said when it went to committee, it did not come out of committee the way that he had intended. He has asked for it to be pulled.
Yay. Well, do you know what his intention was? Because it went bad pretty fast.
No, I can't. I'm not going to address that.
Okay.
Okay, so, or feel like I can adequately at this point, because this just happened this afternoon in my doctor's office visit about this, and I'm like, okay. So, it turned out better than I thought it was. I was going to get shot in the eye, but I didn't have to do that.
Oh, good.
So, but the author of this, when it went to committee, he said that when it come back out of committee, it come back out as what you kind of were talking about, and they would not let him, they wouldn't let him, return it back. They wouldn't return it back to the original thought, the original, intention of this. So it went to, when it went into the Senate or the House, the Senate, into the Senate, and he has asked Senator Koch to kill it. So that because it wasn't what his own bill, he asked it because it wasn't what he thought. As far as to why he made the bill what he did, I don't know. I haven't. I'll probably get the opportunity to do that, but not today. But anyway, thank you for bringing us aware, making us aware of that. We'll open it up to the public for just a few minutes here. Has anybody got anything they want to say?
I've got the first 5 years of the zoning board meeting minutes up, along with video dating all the way back to 2012, 2010, 11. So I need the rest of the minutes.
You worked on it.
And to go ahead and get it all together. And hopefully this is going to not take more than a year, but I'm revamping Indiana Proud to show the history of our local government. It's very rare, and I wish I kept more video, but it's a substantial amount, and it's a pain in the behind to do. But hopefully that'll be up and magnificent.
Okay.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for your efforts through decades.
Anybody else?
I've got a comment on that, like the shared driveway, that if I wanted to buy 2 acres off a house off county, a half mile down his road because he got 3 houses on it. I understand that when I buy that, I'm gonna have to take care of gravel, whether there's any other houses on that road or not, to get back to my house. And I think it's not really fair to say that these houses can't have easements to get to anymore, because there's places in the county still where you can sell off 2 acres on the side of Gooseby Hill, where you can't get a driveway without getting an easement off Grandpa's place or something. I think that it's a back step to say you have to have road frontage access to be able to have a house in the county anymore. And what happens with all these other houses that's already in that situation? Are they non-compliant, and they not, without getting a variance, go add another bedroom on to keep their mom or dad out of the nursing home so they can move in with them? I don't think it's really fair to, we've been working this for the last over 15 years, saying no more than 10 driveways per mile. And then now you're making a 180-degree new direction after people have just said, well, okay, well, I'll just share a driveway with my kids then and keep them on the family farm. But I'm saying I don't think it's really fair to the people that own ground and have a decent place to build a house on flat ground and in the right spot and close to keep their family with them, that we're gonna make it where they're not compliant. Food for thought.
Thank you.
To back up Max, I'll invite anybody on my farm and I'll show you exactly what he's talking about.
Can I address that?
Yes.
I think the whole, one major purpose is, yes, I can see you would have a shared driveway and, you know, let your kids or mothers or whoever live back there. People don't live forever is the problem. Things get sold, people get divorced, kids get divorced. Believe me, I always said, I don't want my kids living by me because the last thing I want to do is have to deal with an ex-daughter-in-law or son-in-law or something because I'm not in control of that situation. We have miles and miles of driveways and supposed roads around here that are a mess. Sellers Lane down in Pekin is the last one I was on. And honestly, if I didn't have wasn't in my Jeep, if I had been in my old Explorer, I wouldn't have got through that hole just to get over the culvert to get on Sellers Lane. So, I mean, I see your side of it, but people don't live forever. And it causes real issues down the road and people don't always own their property. I mean, yeah, I've lived in my place for 30 some odd years and you may have lived there 60, but not everybody does. And it can really cause an issue. And to me, that's the big purpose of that is, boy, you know, we have a lot of roads around here and driveways and stuff that aren't maintained and they're never going to be maintained because they were never brought up to standard to start with. But I see your point. I really do. It's just, things change.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Anybody else? All right, I'm about to return to the
I
public.
don't want my kids looking at me, so I guess they'll now hear that.
It's gonna
be used to get.
Danielle makes a motion to adjourn. Todd seconds it. Well, if you disagree, we'll go ahead and go. Sit here, I don't whatever. Thank you.